All right, welcome to another. I think this is 23, 21. Yeah, I think this is episode 23. Anyway, that's not important to you. And this is my FX Buddies, and this is the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog, there's video, um, there's RSS.com, which has a transcript. And everywhere. Um, Also, if you like Rumble compared to the other one, I'm on Rumble now, my FX buddies. But but you don't have to go there because it's the same video. If you just go to the blog, um, Rumble makes it easy to embed the video to a blog, and so that's why I do that there. I upload. It's the exact same video. You're really not missing out on anything. It's just I put it on the blog now. So the best place really to go is the blog, unless you just like the podcast that's on YouTube. I know, confusing, but different people like different things, and I like to have variety, right? All right. So that is what time is it? Oh, somebody's up. It's quite early. Regular time for me. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, so this is dated March 2nd, but this is just covering only like the top. Oh, so the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, and I know that's not like simple and easy. So wherever you're listening or watching this content, in the description or more or whatever box is the link to the blog. All right? Okay. So now this is covering 20, a couple from the 27th, 28th, 29th, and March 1st. So it was really slow. There was a lot going on, but mostly what things that helped them, right? And there was a holiday. Teachers' Day is a big deal for them. But so unfortunately, this is going to be pretty boring. But it's good. It's all good. And if you can bear listening, you'll hear why it's all good. Okay, so we'll get into this. So we're going to go backwards. We're going to go back to Bloomberg. Bloomberg on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, they had an article about Iraq is not in the WTO as a full-fledged member. But first I saw it in Iraq's news, and it was just this little piece right here. So the title is, this was in Iraq's news, right? Bloomberg, conflict and fragility in Iraq prevent it from joining the World Trade Organization. And then the link, and then this map. I feel like I talked about this, but so if this was on the last blog, I apologize, but it's gonna go. There's another piece, right? Another hold on. My voice is getting trippy. I'm gonna drink some water right quick. And I don't know how to edit, so you just have to hear this. Sorry. It's very dramatic. It's like a soap opera. It really is. I mean, seeing how it's still my opinion, they don't have to be in the World Trade to change their rate, but so many people are following this like they do. I just like to point out my view. Okay, so then it says, this two sentences, but listen to this. Bloomberg revealed the reasons for Iraq's refusal to join the World Trade Organization. See? So this is saying Iraq's refusal. The agency said in a report, Libya, Lebanon, Sudan, and Iraq are among the countries trying to join the World Trade Organization, but due to conflict and fragility, this hinders their ascension. And my computer freaked out like it always does. So that one article where the title was Lebanon and Iran, excuse me, Lebanon and Iraq have a long wait to join the WTO or something like that. But I put a link to it on the last blog, right? But I don't have it up on this computer anymore. Okay, so I was like, I tried to go to Bloomberg to find the Bloomberg article, but I couldn't, and then I had some other things to do. And then lo and behold, someone found it and put it where I could see it. So this is the complete article from Bloomberg, right? So I'm just going to read you a little bit of it. The title is Arab States in Turmoil are Struggling to Join the WTO. And the link, if you go to the blog, the link is there. You can see it for yourself. So it says 2 tiny countries are celebrating the end of their long journeys to join the WTO, but for nations still too unstable to clear the club's bar for membership, there's a more somber reality outside the international trading system. Okay, so it doesn't go on to say Iraq's refusal, right? But it says economic and political turmoil make it difficult for some nations in the Middle East to meet the requirements to move through the WTO's ascension process, according to Ngozi, and I cannot say her hyphenated last name, the organization's director general. So this who is speaking in this article, the lady that if you watched any of the ceremony, she wears very colorful clothes and head wraps, right? Let's see. So if they were more stable, then they could work faster. So there's more about the 2 that got in. From a war. Here we go. Libya, Lebanon. So this is the sentence that the Iraqi writer of their article took from this article. Libya, Lebanon, Sudan, and Iraq, among others, are trying to come into the WTO, Miss hyphenated name that I can't say, said. But because of the conflict and the fragility that sometimes holds back the progress. So there you have it. That is Bloomberg. So I thought for sure we wouldn't see anything else. It's over. It's done. But then the WTO extended the meeting for another day. So everyone was like, oh, they're going to do a ceremony for Iraq. They extended it one more day. Nope, that didn't happen either. So this article is out. So I have this image here because that's what I wanted for the thumbnail. But today's Saturday. Okay, so Friday. Oh, yeah, it even says Friday. Here's the title. Trade confirms the processing of files within efforts to join the WTO. Today, Friday, the Ministry of Commerce confirmed the government's aspiration. And what does aspiration means? You aspire to do something. I say all the time, I just aspire to be rich. I aspire to be thin, right? And those are 2 things that I am not. So that's, yeah. So then they go on to talk about, they put Saudi Arabia as the organizing team that was supposed to help them get in. Work began again on the possibility of Iraq joining the organization as 2 sessions took place and a dialogue was held, but no. Here's some words you have to look at. Joining will achieve many things for Iraq, right? And there was another article that joining will achieve something, right? There was an article out like that. Iraq has today become a major economic player on the world level and needs to harmonize. So they need to. That means something is not done, right? If you need to do it, that means you haven't done it yet. Let's see. We believe that the meeting will achieve progress, right? So there you go. And then here again this morning, Saturday morning, they're running the exact same article, same title. They just took out Friday because it's now Saturday morning and they've run the article again. So I'm, as usual, the one lone person out here saying, no, they're not in. At least publicly, they are not. And again, I will say, it doesn't matter. All right. Okay. So we'll move on. Now, the best, in my opinion, the best thing that happened all week was this article right here. Parliamentary Finance calls on banks to open branches outside Iraq, which they probably already have done secretly, but now not only are they saying do that, it will help finance investment opportunities. They gave 8 points on what these branches outside of the country need to have. And really, I would say 11, because there's 8 numbers, but under number 8, it has 3, ABC, but that says T. Who knows why? Maybe T for Tish. Just kidding. All right. But, in my mind, that's what I like to think. So here, the Center for Banking Studies, they ran that vote. I think they read it for the second time this week in Parliament. The draft law on the Center for Banking Studies, which I don't know how that's a law, but I'm sure if I took the time to read it, I would understand. So I recommend you reading this article because it's clearly needed, right? We didn't think, it's not needed for the RV, but I think if they want to pull in the 3-0 notes that are outside of the country, they probably need to have bank branches that are going to take them and send them back to Iraq. Because we've been told that when we take them to our banks here in America, the Treasury is going to keep them, right? But I don't know how it works in other countries, but I would imagine that's why they're saying, hey, we need to have these other banks. But they kind of do already. They have one in Europe, Singapore, but maybe they're going to do it on a grander scale, which is great. Forward movement. All right. So there's that. And I put, this is a great article too. So this, you can't see this, but it's IFEX. So this was an expo, Iraqi Finance Expo. And it was 3 days. The 29th. Oh, no, that's right, because February only has so it was 2 days. But we got like 6 articles. Early in the morning, there was like 6 articles right out of that. A lock spoke, this guy, whoever he is. The second day, nothing. We got no articles at all on March 1st. So I'm wondering what they talked about on March 1st that they didn't want to put articles out about. Okay, but the central bank announces the start of establishing the National Company for Electronic Payment Systems. So the biggest thing here is they talk about their foreign reserves are 148 trillion dinars, and that's low. And actually, there's another article that says they're 207 trillion. I think they're closer to 250 trillion, but we have to go with the numbers they put out. So they talk about what they've done, and that's always good to show people who think things are the exact same how they were before. So I know people don't like to read everything, so I made blue, whatever. I changed the color of the font of what was important to me. But I think that's why I put the whole article there so you can read it for yourself. So then they also had this. Parliamentary Finance presents 7 proposals to develop the Iraqi banking system. So here, there's 7. So obviously there's 1 missing from the branches outside the country, right? So, pretty much. But here, the goal we are seeking today is how we can achieve a qualitative leap in developing our banking services. So, see, and I have them broken out. So yeah, if you want to read that, that would be good to read also. And see here, here's another one. CBI reveals a rise in deposits and bank credit. But of course they do, because they're forcing the people to open up accounts and go electronic, right? So, duh, yeah, it's not like they just came in because they wanted to. You're forcing them to, but they have the numbers, so they can report that, right? Okay, so, yeah. So here's more about the oil and gas law, but also the investment law. Parliamentary insistence on legislating investment and oil and gas laws. So they're just saying, hurry up and approve them. We want them done this semester. I guess that's what they call the parliament sessions, semesters, or it's just a weird translation. But they're saying there's parliamentary insistence, but it's more than them. It's it's more than them. Wow, that's great grammar. But I don't know any other way to say that. The Kurds really, uh, the Kurds really, they're really giving up a lot of their independence to go by this oil and gas law. Okay, I'll just say that. All right. And so this was interesting. Al-Rashid and also Rafidan Bank launched the deposit and transfer service on electronic cards. So if you didn't know, because it's hard for us to imagine because we use what we use every day and we don't even think about it, right? But before this, and I don't know if this is instantly going into effect or what, they had to buy a card for everything. Oh, if you want to pay your bill at this place, you need this card. You want to go shop at this place, you need this card. You want to shop online? Oh, you need this card. And then there's loading fees. And then when they spend money, there's fees, right? All these fees. And so they were really upset about that, although Sudani did waive the fees for this year, right? Remember that? But so they finally have this card right here. If they get this card, they can deposit money on that card and transfer it to other cards or other services. So that's neat, and it's forward movement in their digital transformation. All right, here's about the 2024 budget, an urgent parliamentary call. So I don't know what Parliament is like making all these demands, but I don't know if it'll happen or not. A new step by the government to attract foreign investments. And what it is gas, liquid gas, I think, or something. There's some new, uh, no, it was refining, investment in the refinery sector. So I guess they didn't let people invest in that before, but now they are. And then right after that, guess who's moving on in? China. China got a contract already to invest in their refinery industry. So the other good things that happen is they do these things, the IMF do these consultations, Article 4 consultations. I don't know why they're called that, but Article 4 of what? I don't know. But see right here, it says Article 4 consultations. And they're held in Jordan, Amman. So they met, I think, for 3 days. But I have these articles here. This shouldn't be here. So if you want to read them, you can. Because, again, it's more positive stuff. But this, they do it every year or every 2 years, I'm not sure. But this year is the most positive I've seen it be. In years past, they've always said, oh, you need to get your revenue other than, oh boy, look, 21 minutes, okay. Your revenue from oil, other than oil, you need to increase that, right? They had all these lists, these things that they wanted Iraq to do. I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll fix that, maybe I won't, but you see how far I had to scroll down to get to the other one? So they just, everything good, right? But I don't want to get too excited because I have seen in the past where they have, during the meeting, so the finance minister's there. I'm sure other people are there too. So during the meeting, right, they've said really good things, but then they slammed them when they put the report out. So I'm hoping they don't do that this time, but it really was good. They said, good for you. You got your non-oil revenue up, and you have, you've done so much with the banking system and digitization, and I mean, you name it, it's better. It's good. It's better. And then they closed out saying they promised to support the digital transformation in Iraq. The IMF does. So really good. I can't wait to see the report, which I don't go seek it out. Usually people find it and then it gets posted everywhere. See, finance concludes Iraq's discussions. So that happened this week and that was good. All right. And again, it's not needed for the RV, but it's always good when the people who I believe have a say-so in them changing the rate give a good report like that, then it's positive and encouraging. Okay, so now we'll get to Sudanese coming. Is he or is he not coming to America? Coming to America. I know, that's the wrong song. But, okay, but I have this not in order. Well, no, I guess it is. Analysis. No. This is someone did a report. Political analysis. Muhammad Ali al-Hakim confirms the political majority in Iraq rejects the expulsion of the Americans and explains the reason for that rejection. And you can read that if you want. Basically, they're saying it's the Iranian-backed people who are speaking so loudly about getting the Americans out. So it's kind of lengthy, but I know some people will enjoy that. So, on the heels of that, I put, will Sudanese visit to Washington resolve the controversy over identifying Iraq's allies? So this is right here in the very beginning. It says Sudani is scheduled to pay a visit to the White House in April. Okay, what else is happening in April? Oh yeah, Ramadan, right? So will he come during, remember Ramadan starts March 10th or 11th, whatever they say. It goes for 30 days. So that would put us at April 10th or 11th. And then it has the 3-day holiday, the Eid holiday after that. But maybe he'll travel. That, we'll see. So, but or he would just come after it's over, right? So they didn't say what day, and then you could read the files that they'll talk about. Of course, security, and actually, one of these articles says that it's the American forces and the dollar to dinar issue. But if you're new to this, you may want to read this, and I don't know why this font is so big. So this article is really not this long. The font is huge, and I couldn't every time. And look, there's supposed to be a picture here. The picture's not there. So here it talks about the BRICS, and I thought there was one other thing. I think it talks about China, their relationship with China also. But yeah. So maybe it's this one. Yeah. So here's another article. Sudani visits Washington in a stormy moment, and he wants planes and air defense. So, but this is the only article that I see is referencing Barzani being here. Barzani, the Prime Minister of Kurdistan, has been here all week, and they don't really talk about it. It's all over the news on Kurdistan's news, but the regular Iraqi news, nope, you don't see too much. Maybe one or two mentions, and he's met with everybody and their mama, except the president and the vice president, and there's an article here about that. So here's the one. So his expected meeting, Sudani's expected meeting, right? Of course, the issue of armed factions and the dollar crisis in Iraq will be at the top of the issues. So when, and it talks about he's been invited a few times and, he hasn't come. So again, I've put in bold what I thought was important. And then here's the big part. See, I say this all the time. Here's that 4-letter word that starts with a G and ends with an A. And Iran are at the heart of concerns from Baghdad to Washington. And this, here lies why I think we could be here till June, despite everything else being complete. If they don't get a grip on that, yeah. That's me. That's my thought. Okay, so, all right. Here's my one commercial. Go there, check it out. All right, so here we already went over that. We're almost done, I believe. I just put those out of order. That's my phone going off. So here's the article that I was talking about. Biden and his deputy refuse to meet the son, Barzani. I don't know how to say his name. At the White House. And, it is what it is. So, in addition to all the other stuff, oh wait, the White House issues a position on revenue sharing between Baghdad and Erbil, but it's a very political position. They just kind of confirm what the federal court ruled. They don't say if they're going to help them implement it or not. Here is, what a cool name, Sasha Baker, right? She works for the Pentagon. She's the U.S. Deputy Secretary of Defense. And then also, he met with the National Security Advisor. I mean, he met with everyone. I could do a whole blog on just who he met with. But look at this. So, and they did this for dramatic effect because this guy, this Brian, whatever his name is, Brian Nelson, he does not look tough at all. But anyway, listen to the title of this. In Washington, Barzani meets the Godfather, and that is in parentheses. The not parentheses. Dang, I do that all the time. Quotation marks of Iraqi banking supervision. So he met with the U.S. Treasury. But see how they're both leaning forward in their chairs, kind of looking seriously at each other? I don't know. And look at this lady. She's like laughing. Oh, anyway, sorry. I just, it's, it wouldn't be funny if it wasn't, it's such a serious matter, right? Lives are at stake. Trillions of dollars are at stake. And they play games like this because then there's video of them shaking hands and smiling at each other, right? So it's just so crazy. But anyway, yeah, so that's how they met. What did they talk about? Supporting the reforms implemented by the Kurdistan Regional Government and the framework of the Ninth Ministerial Formation. And I thought it said the government plan, but it doesn't. But basically, the Kurds are over here trying to say, hey, we're still buddies, right? And you see what Baghdad's trying to do to us, right? So, you take care of us and we'll let you move your people to Kurdistan, right? That's how I envisioned that conversation going. But yeah, so that was it for the last part of the week. I don't know. Usually weekends are quiet, but you never know. And some people are very excited about this weekend, and I hope they are right. And I'll be watching. And if there's anything worth blogging about, I certainly shall. So this will load. It'll be early in the morning, probably we'll see. 6 a.m. for me is already 9 a.m. and for people around the world, later in the day. But anyway, so I hope this was helpful, and hang in there, accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals, pay all your bills, and live. Don't keep saying, oh, when the RV happens, I'm going to do. No, don't do that anymore. Whatever it is you want to do, try to do it now. Okay? All right. So thank you. I have a couple of new subscribers. Thank you. Hey, new subscribers. And yeah. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, noon, night, whatever time frame applies. And until next time.